So in this video, we're going to take a look at how we can find the mean, median, mode and range of a set of numbers. We're going to look through a number of different examples in this video, and as always, I'm going to put the timestamps for these questions down in the description so you can find them more easily. So let's get started on our first example. So for this first question, we have here is a list of 8 numbers, and we have to figure out the range, mode, median and mean of this list of numbers. So when we're doing questions like these, it's extremely useful to actually put the numbers in order, which fortunately for us, this has already been done. So for part A to the question, we need to work out the range of this set of numbers. So to figure out the range, we're simply going to take the largest number and take away the smallest number. So looking at our list of numbers, our largest number is 7 and our smallest number is 2. So we're simply going to do 7 take away 2 and that'll give us 5. So our range for this list of numbers is just 5. Now moving on to part B, we need to work out the mode. Well, the mode is just the most common number. And again, this is where having the numbers in order makes it extremely easy to see which number occurs the most. So looking at our set of numbers here, we can see that the number 4 appears 3 times, which is more than any of the others, as 5 only appears twice, and the other numbers 2, 3 and 7 only appear once. So our most common number is 4, so that means that is the mode. Now moving on to part C, we need to figure out the median. Well, the median is simply the middle number when our list of numbers is in order. So the easy way to find the median is just to cross off numbers from each side until we meet in the middle. If we have an odd amount of numbers, we will actually land on a specific number. However, if we've got an even number, like we have in this question, we're actually going to fall between 2 numbers. So to find the middle number, we're going to cross off from either end, so we get rid of the 2 and the 7, the 3 and the 5, then the 4 and the 5, and that leaves us with 2 numbers which are 4 and 4. So all we do now is go in between these two. Well, there's nothing between 4 and 4, so that means the median would actually be 4 itself. So the median for this set of numbers is just 4. And then for the final part, to work out the mean of a set of numbers, we simply have to add all the numbers together and then divide by how many numbers we've added. So if we add all the numbers in our list, that's going to give us 34. We then take that 34 and we're going to divide it by how many numbers we've got, which is 8. And if we do that, 34 divided by 8 gives us 4.25. So our mean for this set of numbers is just 4.25. Okay, let's take a look at another question. Okay, for this question, we've got a list of numbers 4, 6, 8, 11 and 11. And going back to what we said earlier, it's extremely useful if we put the numbers in order. Well, again, fortunately for us, these numbers are in order from smallest to largest. So starting with part A, we need to work out the range. So to figure out the range, we need to take the highest number, which in this case is 11, and we need to take away the smallest number, which we've got 4. So if we do 11 take away 4, that's going to give us 7. So the range for this set of numbers is 7. Now for part B, we're asked to work out the mode. So the mode is the number that occurs the most, which in this question we can see is 11, as 11 appears twice and the other numbers only appear once. Now for part C, we're asked to work out the median. So we want to make sure our numbers are in order, which they are, and then we want to see which number falls in the middle. Well, when we have an odd amount of numbers, we will actually fall on a single number. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did in the first question, and that's by crossing off numbers from either side until we can easily find our median. So we'll cross off the 4 and the 11. We'll then cross off the 6 and the 11, and that leaves us with a single digit of 8. So that would be our median. So our median for this set of numbers is just simply 8. And then for the final part, we need to work out the mean. So to figure out the mean, all we need to do is add all of our numbers together So if we add all the numbers in our list, that would give us 40. We then need to take this total and divide that by how many numbers we've added together. Well, in our list of numbers, we had 5 numbers. So if we do 40 divided by 5, that's going to give us 8. So the mean for this set of numbers is just 8. Okay, let's take a look at one final example. So feel free to pause the video here and have a go at this last question, and we'll go through the solution in just a few moments. Okay, so for this final question, we have here are the heights in centimetres of 8 people, and we need to work out the range, the mode, the median and the mean. So as we've said with the previous 2 questions, it's a lot easier if we have these numbers in order, which for this question they weren't. So that's going to be our first step. We're going to put these numbers in order from smallest to largest. So this will be our new order. So now that we've done that, let's work our way through the questions. So again, for part A, we need to work out the range. So to figure out the range, we need to take our highest number, which is 194, and we need to take away our smallest number, which is 153. Well, 194 take away 153 is just 41. So that would be our range. Then for part B, we need to work out the mode. So which number occurs the most? Well, now that they're in order, this makes it a lot easier. We can see that the number 174 is the only number that appears twice. All the other numbers only appear once. So that means that our 174 is our mode. Okay, now for part C, we need to work out the median. Well, this is where we needed to make sure the numbers were in order. And we've got an even amount of numbers, so it's going to actually fall between 2 numbers. So if we cross off from either end, we get rid of the first 2 numbers, then the next 2, then the next 2, and that's going to leave us with 2 numbers. We've got 170 and 174. So we need to pick the number that falls in between these 2. Well, the number that falls halfway between 170 and 174 is actually 172. So this would be our median. So in some questions, it's quite straightforward to see what the median would be. However, sometimes we might have a bigger gap between the 2 numbers in the middle, so it might not be as obvious to see what the median is. So another route we can take to find the median is by simply adding those 2 numbers together. So we would have 170 plus 174, which gives us 344. And then all we have to do is take that number and half it. So if I do 344 divided by 2, that would give me 172. So that's another method we can use to find the median when we've identified those 2 numbers in the middle, if we've got an even amount of numbers. And then finally, for part D, we need to work out the mean. So again, for the mean, all we're going to do is take all our numbers in our list and we're going to add them together. So if we add all of those numbers together, that would give us 1,381. And then for the final step, we take that number and we divide it by how many numbers were in our list that we've added together. Well, there were 8 people, so we're going to divide by 8. And if we do that, we get 172.625. So the mean of this set of numbers is 172.625. And that would be the final answer to this question. So well done if you followed along with those examples. And that's it for this video. If you want to check out any other videos that are relevant to this one, then I'm going to leave some links for them down in the description, and I'll also put a card in the top corner, so feel free to check them out. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. If there are any topics at all that you'd like me to go through next, then please just let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to make some videos on those topics as soon as possible. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.